Hello everyone. Welcome to Metis IS. This is Sonia Gupta and we are continuing with our series of Panchayati Raj. Now we are coming at the end of our chapter. Till now we have done the complete evolution of Panchayati Raj. We have done what are its salient features, what is its structure, what is its composition, what are its powers, authorities, everything we have done, how it brought change into the lives of women, how it brought change into the lives of marginalized communities, and then we have seen the achievements in case of economic development. And further on we saw that there are still certain issues with the Panchayati Raj. To avail the full opportunities from the Panchayati Raj, we have to have certain changes, we have to have certain modifications in the system so that we can ultimately reach to our goal of good life, which we begin with the first part. So we said that in the first part that the goal of government or the state is always to provide the good life to people, and how panchayats will contribute to it. So if you have not watched, please watch that first part. Then only you will be able to understand that why we want to do this, why we want still want to do have certain improvements in the Panchayati Raj institutions. Okay, so in the just previous part, we have done the lacunas, the challenges in the system. We have seen that there is not proper devolution of power, that is fund, function, and functionaries. Moreover, the bureaucratic system is reluctant to devolve that power. Moreover, there are parallel institutions which are there, which prevent the functioning of panchayat, or which halts or breaks the functioning of panchayat. And then there are social challenges on the ground itself. So we have seen the certain structural issues with it. For example, in case of the act, there were certain provisions which are made voluntary, because of which state legislature has used those voluntary powers as they are voluntary, we did not do this, or it's up to us to do this, and they didn't do it. And then we have seen institutional challenges and operational challenges as well, and then there is societal challenge or social challenges. Now today in this particular part we have to continue that over 1992, from 1992 there has been several committees regarding the analysis that what has happened to panchayat institutions, and then what can be way forward. So they have recommended those recommendations, and it will come handy to you in your mains examination. You don't have to search your points. So these committees you will quote, and you will get those points that what all changes or what all way forward should be there. And when you quote these, so it reflects that you have read, you have depth of the, you have deep knowledge of the topic. Okay, so the first committee is the Mani Shankar Iyer committee, that was formed in 2012. The highlights of this committee was that it highlighted that decentralization of corruption has happened, and there is Sarpanch Raj rather than the democratic governance. The original motto was to provide democratic governance, to provide powers to citizens. Rather, what has happened, rather than devolution or decentralization of power, it has happened decentralization of corruption, because the corruption cases are being emerged, and Sarpanch is the now the head, and he is getting more the power. He has become new elite and preventing the people to get the power. Next, what recommendation he has said is, this committee has said this, that it recommends introducing panchayat ombudsman. What is ombudsman? That where you can, citizens can say their grievances, complaints, so that accountability is there. So rather than subjects, we have to make our people citizens. So citizens should have power. As ombudsman, they can go for grievance redressal mechanism. Next is it critiques the 11th schedule as half baked. Why half baked? Because 29 functional items were there, but not all were devolved. So it calls for more effective devolution framework. Then it suggests that defining the scope of devolution constitutionally, and we have to freeze the rotation of reserved seats. So, scope of devolution, what does he mean here is that it is the half baked cake. We have to have certain provisions from voluntary to obligatory, because under the bar of voluntary features, under the disguise of voluntary features, state legislature do not devolve the powers. So, what it is saying that we have to define the scope of devolution within the constitution only. And next, with case of women reservation, when reservation of seats is there, then we should be freezing the rotation of seats so that women or the marginalized community can work for a longer period over there. Then the second committee recommendation. Now, second ARC committee recommends that it advocates that democratic decentralization has been based on principle of subsidiarity. This we are talking from the first class, right? Because it means that what is principle of subsidiarity? We have talked about it several times. You must answer this in comment section here. That what do you mean by principle of subsidiarity? Okay, so it advocates that democratic decentralization. What is the basis of democratic decentralization is principle of subsidiarity. Next, it suggests the creation of state panchayat council. What is state panchayat council? That there is all the panchayats must have a council where they can coordinate the local governance across the states. Okay, just like you have Niti Aayog, where all the states can come and discuss the matters. So here also there should be creation of state panchayat councils to coordinate local governance across the states. Next, it proposes empowering of CAG to audit PRIs. Now, we have seen that in finances auditing, it is the auditing which will create accountability, right? If true auditing is done, if correctly auditing is done, it will create accountability of the institutions. So it said that CAG is a independent body, independent officer, and that body should be authorized with the powers to audit PRI also. Next, it recommends reforms in the election process. It says that the capacity building should be there. It says that there is shortages in the functionaries at panchayati level, so staffing should be there appropriate, and capacity building should be there. Next is Punchi Commission. Punchi Commission you must have read also in federalism. So here also Punchi Commission recommends that there should be creation of legislative councils on the states, just on the basis of, just like you have Rajya Sabha in union where all the states represents themselves, same way in states also there should be representation of all the panchayats. So legislative council should be done mandatory for all the states so that panchayats can represent themselves. Then comes the 15th Finance Commission. Then comes the 15th Finance Commission. And 15th Finance Commission, it allocated about 2.3 lakh crores for PRI for the period of 2021-26. And the focus must be on water supply and sanitation, as we have discussed below, that social justice and economic development are the two key motives of Panchayati Raj institutions. Next, it recommends that 60% of the allocation be used for tied grants in like water supply, sanitation, ODF maintenance. And next, it emphasized that the role of Gram Panchayat as local public utilities should be there, and it should be to enhance the public service delivery. That all the schemes should be implemented correctly with the help of Panchayati institutions. Next is Vijay Kelkar Committee. Vijay Kelkar Committee recommends that it suggests that giving local government a share in GST will help them boost their fiscal autonomy. Just like you have GST share between center CGST and SGST. So in the same way, there should be share here also. Okay, next is formation of consolidated funds for panchayat from finance commission allocations. So just like you have consolidated fund of India, consolidated fund of states, there should be consolidated fund of panchayats where all the money will go, and from there expenditures or expenses will be made. So these are the recommendations of the several committees. Now we'll see that how do you go for governance reforms. So what all governance reforms you want? So it can be categorized largely in four headings. First is review the role of each federal level. Why you want to review? See, whatsoever committees have recommended, we are just categorizing it for our answer writing purpose. Whatsoever you feel like, howsoever you feel like, you must write the points, and it should be comprehensive answer. You can make several points, or you can make several categories so that it's easy for you to remember the categories and the subpoints. Okay, for example, the first is review the roles at each federal level. Now what you want to review, that what is the role of union, what is the role of state, what is the role of local self government. Now based on principle of subsidiarity, that whomsoever is the appropriate person or institution level should perform the task. So the role, the function which the each level performs should be reviewed, it should be evaluated, and it should be optimized. The one which can be done at lower levels should be given to lower levels so that there is efficiency. Next is there should be convergence between state and district plannings. So whatsoever state wants to plan in an area, so district planning should be in convergence or in sync with it. It should not happen that district planning is saying something else and the state planning is saying something else. So both the planning should be in sync. Third is that one of the objective of Panchayati Raj institution was to build the social justice, to give the social justice to the people. So it must empower disadvantaged groups. So the third point here says that it must empower disadvantaged groups to participate into the democratic process. So since it is democratic, everyone should have power. It should not, the power should not be in the hands of few people, few elites. So there should be deconcentration, and deconcentration, how it will happen, that even the disadvantaged group should be given more powers, there should be inclusivity, and then there should be shift in mindset. What does it mean? That it encourages the collaborative approach rather than on their own. There should be community efforts in developing or in making panchayats a successful institution. Next, further on, what all recommendations are there? So based on the issues, the recommendation, what was the main issue? Fund, function and functionaries, right? So we will answer in these points. So the first point is about great financial autonomy. It is linked to funds. So there should be genuine fiscal federalism where taxes should be levied by local self-government, or they should get more money rather than tied money, right? Then there should be function should be devolved to them. Total 29 subjects must be devolved by all the state legislatures. Then there should be functionaries, that is capacity building should be there. Staff shortages should be handled. There should be much hiring, and that staff should be trained in administrative work, in financial work, in auditing work, in digital part. They should be trained. So to strengthen PRI, we have to give financial autonomy. We have to enhance that so that they can levy local taxes and implement the fiscal federalism along with accountability. Next, comprehensive capacity building initiative should be done, covering technical managerial leadership position, means the internship or the training should be comprehensive. Capacity building should be comprehensive. It should be demand driven. Demand driven means whatsoever panchayats do not have, whatsoever skills they do not have, the training must be given in those areas. Then political interference must be reduced from the states, from the union, even from the bureaucracies. And the sarpanch pati culture has to be ensured that it should not take place by regular meetings, regular presentations, by continuous training, that will generate shift in mindset. So what is the way forward? The way forward is realizing the Gandhi's vision, which is mentioned in article 40 of DPSP, that is democratic decentralization. So way forward is that more technological integration should be there. There should be smart villages, there should be digitization of Panchayati Raj, there should be physical infrastructure as well as the skills they should have in ensuring that they function properly. Then public awareness must be created, public awareness with regard to Gram Sabha, where the quorum must be maintained, minimum quorum must be there for Gram Sabha meetings. Transparency and accountability should be there. Social audit mechanism directly happens when people attends the panchayats meetings, Gram Sabha meetings, right? Then there should be a proper legal framework so that they can work in continuity, right? Next, the major part now in future, we have to see how Gram Panchayats can be a major role player in sustainable development goals, in achieving sustainable development goals, because they are the one who are implementing, they are the one who are going for infrastructural projects, so they can help in identifying the sustainable goals which are relevant in their area. They can help in identifying the ways, the processes in which those goals can be achieved for a better future for all. So the future of PRI lies in technology, it lies in strengthening grassroots participation. We have to promote digital literacy. So you got several points. See, you got all the committee's recommendation, then you got even advanced points. These are the basic points which you will be writing along with the committee's recommendation, and these are the future in sustainable development goals. Public awareness, technological integration should be there. So you must write a comprehensive answer for almost 10 points, right? So promoting digital literacy, ensuring accessibility to e-governance platform should be there. There should be public awareness. We have to strengthen the legislative framework. Then only we can realize the true goal of panchayats. So what Gandhiji used to say, let us drive our villages towards its growth. So now it's the task of people to make his dream of Gram Swaraj come true. That every village becomes self dependent, or I would say independent, that they will work on their own, they can have their resources on their own, and they are not dependent on anybody else for their needs. Not only villages, we have to make our people free, completely free, in the sense free from poverty, free from ignorance, free from any burden. We have to give them huge opportunities to achieve the purpose of their life, that is a good life. Okay, so this is Panchayati Raj. Next, what we'll be doing is that what government has done in Panchayati Raj, what all steps it has taken to strengthen the Panchayati Raj institutions, and then we'll be moving to PESA Act. Okay, thank you so much.